So hello everybody, welcome to the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne. We're live on the Down in Cycling YouTube channel and I hope you are all ready for what's coming up, which is an absolute cracker. Now, I've got to say a massive thank you to the team at Gritty, been in touch with Caroline and the members who got a win in the last show. They all have had emails, so if you were one of our winners of those amazing Gritty goodies, then please check your emails, get in touch with Caroline, and she will be able to sort out what is happening. We've got a really busy show. I'm really busy down here in the studio. For those of you who are unaware, after last show, that was probably the last time I do much memory stuff, because on Friday had a bit of an off on the bike, and it meant I bounced down the road quite literally on the top of my head twice at 40k an hour as the bike broke underneath me. Now, we were back on broadcast by the Sunday, and we are bringing the show out today, Wednesday. We recorded a crosscast, but thank you, everybody who's been in touch, giving me their best wishes. I am basically in one piece, just about. Lots of bruising. In Emma's words, I didn't expect to get to you when you stopped rolling on the floor and find that you either weren't in a wheelchair or dead. I'm neither of those, thank goodness. And after being checked out by the amazing team in France, it looks like it's all bruising and muscle damage. So I am pretty sore, I'm pretty beat up. There's a reason I'm wearing like 16 coats. It's just because every time I walk, I bump into a wall. It hurts a lot. And I swear profusely, which is not going to happen on air. So, we are back, we are here. I'm all right, and we will be returning to the UK very shortly when I'm put with a few hours in the van. Now, we had a great Chaingang yesterday. We had a fantastic ride. The members' ride was on Tuesday for members of the DCG gang. Thank you everybody who's registered. Just a quick heads up, if you are trying to get in touch with email at the moment, it is down, so don't bother doing that. Trying to get in touch by the message board or by the Facebook page. It is going to be a cracker tonight. Let's get on to the ride tonight, because we are going into London. As you can tell, it's the mall. It's up there. It's obvious. Prue Ride London, down the mall, basically. But we're going on London Loop with the Box Hill finish. So essentially, we are in London town, although we may be not using this particular finish. It's a nice picture. I like it. And it's, do you know why not? Let's have it as a great background. So we're going to London Loop with the Box Hill finish. This is essentially half K of leading, 2.5 laps, so we basically climb to the top of Box Hill, then we do 2 full laps. Then we finish at the Box Hill climb arch at 39 kilometres, 39k, and then we have a warm down of 3k to the Blue Banner. Really simple. This is a staple stuff of the Donny Chaingang. We've got some great numbers on tonight, so please do make sure you follow the instructions of our yellow beacon. It's Russ Downing, aka the Bear, the man whose bright idea this was in the first place. So please do jump on board, spread the word, and let's get up and running. Our riders are just about ready to start. We can see down on start line. We do film and record all of the action all the way through, so always great to see what's going on. Now, a few other things to let you know. If you're a member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, a massive thank you for donating and joining. We do value your support. Without it, we can't make the whole setup happen, and that is really critical. So please, if you are a member, through the winter, all the way through the winter, don't worry, you're just going to keep on getting the emails as normal. If you are a monthly member, if you join or donate on a monthly basis, that means that, guess what? Today's the last day of November, and after today, there will be a new email, I hope, as long as it all works, coming out before the next set of rides, with all the details on. Now, this basically means that we will be sending that email out to members. If you are a member, please rejoin for December if you're going to do so. It's really important you do so before the end of the event. Now it looks like the riders are just making their way out from the pens, so let's go join them, and let's join the riders on the open to everyone who has registered. Chaingang, here we go. Right, I've got my snacks and supplies ready, got plenty of fluids on board. This can be a long ride today, and it's certainly looking like at the moment we've got quite a choice of riders. Looks like Russ just on his way out. Fill your baskets, Gritty order incoming. Fantastic fun, Chris Ball. Thank you very much. Please do support the people who support your sport. You can see them all across the base of your screen. Without the support of the team from 1080 for Oakleys and for loads of goodies, for Goodyear bike tyres, Continental, for the guys who are in there and working with us from Halo, from Nonners, from the team who are with us from Gritty, from OTE. Please, please, please do use them, support them. Without your usage, their support will not happen. It's really straightforward, so it's really important. Please, guys, jump on board. Now, I'm just seeing a few people saying, let's find yellow. I think you're just going to find that Russ has just dropped out. He will be jumping back in again, so please, guys, if you can just keep the pace to something sensible up at the front. Nobody wind it up on the front. He will be back with us at the moment, but the Bear is currently missing in action. He will be rejoining us, just has some issues at the moment. So it looks like we're just underway. Just watching Samuel Taylor make his way back in through the gang. If you're one of the snakes on the front, guys, keep the pace down for the moment. Let's just get Russ back on board. We've got a few people just coming back in towards the group. Don't forget there is a late join, and until 30 minutes into the event, so really key that you keep it all together. So Mr. Mason with the hold steady to right. Please, guys, hold it all together. He's going to be back with us at the moment, just restarting and rejoining. So just going to go take a run at this. I think I'm loving the man wearing yellow should lead. I suspect that's going to be Mr. Mason. So a quick shout to guys on the front. Please, guys, keep that pace off nice. And early, no going like a loon on the front at the moment. Going to be really critical. We're just waiting to see Russ rejoin, so we can hold it at 2 watts per kilo, please. Mr. Mason, if you are watching, please can you tell the guys to hold it at 2 watts per kilo from Matt whilst Russ rejoins. Please feel free to repeat that message if you are watching and you can type fast enough. Gareth Mason is on his way up here, so no push on the front. Stay off there. Stay in the blob. Gareth Mason at the moment is the man I'm hunting for, as you can see. And you're just rolling around that area. So keep it sub 2, please, guys. Don't roll to the front at over 2. You'll just push the pace up for everybody else. You need to keep that down. Thank you very much, Mr. Mason. Matt says keep it below 2. Russ will be with you very shortly. It'll do you lots of good. There's plenty of time on this course to get absolutely crazy a little bit later on. We know that Mr. Campbell and Mr. Malin are on the way back in to awards us. I think maximum is about 19 seconds to close down. And Paul, don't forget you've got a late join if you need it. So let's get the split closed up. Mr. Mason at the moment is just holding everyone together. Yep, drop some breadcrumbs behind. If you're feeling strong, it's the best thing to do. Drop towards the back and help the guys get back on. There's not too many. Last man on the road in the group that we can see at the moment is going to be Paul Malin. He's currently at 18 seconds and closing, so last man is going to be Paul. He's just on his way. Wayne Barr just dropping back to help at the moment, so looks like the help is coming, Mr. Malin. Do not panic. I know you won't. You're far too much of a dab hand at this. And as you can see, a few people just rolling to the back. Simon Oxenham, Gareth Licence doing the same. Keith Richardson doing the same. You can just see Wayne is the last rider before Paul is going to get on. Paul's got him in his sights now, so here he comes. So Paul absolutely flying at this, trying to get back in to the group at the moment. Okay, guys, so if you're watching, thank you very much for going back for the guys at the back and then bringing it on forwards. So, we need somebody to just jump on board, and I have a perfect candidate, somebody who knows the course inside out, who has ridden this more times than he's had hot breakfast. So, this has I've just been messaging with Russ. He's just got a big net meltdown. So, heads up, ladies and gentlemen, your new leader for tonight without any consultation with him. It is the one and only Gareth Mason. He's been delegated this by all of us instantly in the management. So if everybody who's listening, what I'd like you all to do, this is going to be like a group participation thing. It's not like Simon says. This is Russ says. So basically what I'd like everybody to do is write the message. Russ says, new leader, the fat cyclist, Gareth Mason. So here's the message, however you want to phrase it. Russ says, Gareth Mason, a.k.a. the fat cyclist, yellow beacon tonight. Everybody, please, 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 please put that on. We need more than just Tom Lindley, who I know who's listening. I know more of you are listening than that. Take the time to do it. He's the man in yellow with the disc. He's on the feed on the Downing Cycling channel. So Russ at the moment with no connection. He is the man in yellow at the moment. He knows this. Gareth, apologies. I will make it up to you later. There we go. That's what we're seeing. Thank you very much, Mr. Cooley. Thank you very much, Rich Langmead. Thank you very much, Finley. Excellent. I am loving it. It's absolutely bombarding. And keep those messages coming in. So the guy in yellow, it is Mason. Yeah, there you go. He is not listening to me. I know lots of people aren't, but I know Mr. Mason is. So new leader is Mr. Mason. Mr. Campbell, watch what you're saying about people's body weight. Thank you very much. I'll have no body shaming, particularly mine because it's broken. I am going to leave you to this, to your joys of Mr. Mason at the moment. I'm going to just go run away. I'm just going to make a quick, have a quick chat with Russ. I'll be back shortly. Enjoy watching everybody coming through. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Just quick heads up for you. Russ is on his way back in. We just had a quick discussion. Fantastic job being done by Mr. Mason. Now, please don't assume that the moment that Russ comes back in, that if he comes back in, that he is instantly going to be able to take up the reins, because we will have to just make sure that it's all rolling. So a massive thank you to Gareth. He's no doubt going to keep everything together. It's looking reasonably smooth. Just a little bit of a break in the group at the moment. Just taking a little bit of a look back. A few people just being distanced to go over and down into the escalators, which is the issue. I'm sure it will come all back together. We've got Joe Blackburn took nice in here. Hutch is in here. Mr. Malin Ball, Killingsworth. Just having a run through. Looks like Matt Nunn at the moment, and Mr. Haggart just having to do an exceptionally fast run to get their way back on to the group at the moment. So 2.5 max up the climb, please, ladies and gents, if you're watching live. If you're not watching the board, if you haven't got your message board turned on, then life will be particularly difficult for you until the resurgent Russ comes back in. So Russ on his way back in. It looks like the beacon has landed. Let's see how it goes. Indeed, nearly have another night off. Yes, don't concentrate on your cereal on that moment. I know Mr. Barr is on his way in as well. Man who's more than capable of being right up there. Fantastic to see. A massive thank you to Gareth, and please, guys, just keep it nice and tight on the climb. So great to see that Donny Chaingang spirit jumping in on the way through. So here we go, riders on the way up here, looking good. The group really compact. Looks like everybody pretty much in there. Just going to run our way in and through to Russ, who is in the group somewhere along the lines here. Here we go. We're just going to try and dive in to catch Russ. It was not a bad catch. Got almost in it. So Russ is with us. The bear himself is back on board. Many of you will have seen his swimming adventures on Tuesday. If you've not, please make sure you jump on to Russ's social media feed. It was very entertaining. You can see the difference between those people who should be professional swimmers and those people who shouldn't. So Russ is on his way in. He's just checking, get permission off G to take over. I think G will be very glad to let Russ take over on here, because I'm sure G will have a yep, there we go. Oh, go on then, have a bit of fun. So a bit of a meltdown for Mr. Downing on his way through. Sounds like the internet and the backup internet's all going down. So no troubles here. Our main and backup internet lines, we've got about 5 of them. I hope they all work. That's out here in France, because of course here at Full Speed Events we are split over 2 nations, which is across France and the UK, so Europe and UK now. And that basically means that we've got studios in both places, and we can talk about lots of different things all over the place. Although don't ask me to commentate in French, pas de possible. My French is not good enough. Whilst I can survive and live, I am definitely not going to be commentating. The nuances of the language are still a long, long way off being at commentary standard or even close. Although apparently when I had a bang on the head, then it's going to be on there. Yeah, Matt has extra vision. Yeah, I don't touch them with the barge pole. They are actually, the fibre optic is great in the UK in terms of speed, but the reliability, certainly where the studios are based, is not. So we actually use other means. We have 3 different means of internet. We have the good old copper wires. We have it bouncing up into the sky, and we also have it on the old 4G as well, or LTE, as the technical term is, and we have multiple LTE lines as well as the rest. So all in all, the between the multiple copper lines and the stuff that is a little bit more fun, it is on its way through, but it's definitely sadly not virgin olive oil or virgin oil or extra virgin or anything else on the way through at the moment, because just not getting the reliability. We can't be having that. Got people to keep happy, some major clients. Looking forward to being on the mic actually on Sunday for what is going to be the second of the World Cup Cyclocross for the UCI, going out on the world feed. So I know a lot of our riders are UK based, and we'll have what was GCM, what is now going to become Discovery Plus. So if you are going to be watching on there, enjoy. Many people around the globe don't get that, and in fact it is a small minority audience there rather than some of the other nations. So lots of other nations have their own commentary, and if they don't have their own commentary team, if in the particular country that you're watching, you'll get the international feed, which is yours truly, which means the numbers are always big, and we're trying to make sure that we're putting the coverage out for people whose maybe their first language isn't English, as well as everybody whose first language is English. So it's a real mix. So it's an international feed. I'm going to be doing that for Flamanville. You can get an insight into Flamanville, a little insight, on the next episode of the Crosscast. That is due out to you. Now, I know Neil was busy trying to get that done as well as prepping to get ready. I didn't just see the comment that Matt and Dunn put up, but that answer is correct, indeed. And it gets me this time round. And then Anthony McCrossan will be back, my colleague Anthony will be back between this round, so after this round and into Christmas. And then for a Christmas present, I'm going to be running all the way from Hulst after Christmas, right the way through the new year, all the way to Tabor on the cyclocross commentary. So please do give it a watch if you have the facility to do so, and you aren't bored of me talking about bikes and stuff on all the other things that we do, like the WOW, the DCG, the Crosscast. That's the Cyclocross podcast, which you can get everywhere. New episode on its way. Last episode was good. This episode, recording it, equally as much fun and great to catch up. Yes, blow anvils now, ideally before they are problematic, before they go on the descent. Indeed. Because basically, if you chuck an anvil on the downhill, you will smash the group apart. Please, guys, don't do it. It's really important. Now, the group at the moment just rolling its way up here, hoping that pretty much everybody is in one long line. For those of you who are on the way in here, petition for Neil to co-coms for Crosscast Live. Yeah, not sure the UCI will allow that, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you have to have a license. We don't have one on the Crosscast, and it's expensive. And the territory is actually bought in the UK by the guys. He is busy this weekend, Matt. He is indeed at the World's Masters Cyclocross Championships from Hamburg in Germany. I don't know which accent that was, but to be honest, I don't care. I'm back to it, and I thought I'd do something to try and cheer myself up. So, yeah, Neil's going to the home of the Panzer Wagon, Jens Schvedler, one of the riders who has dominated the last 2 editions in Ipswich. They're organised by Steve Grimwood, Elmy Cycles, and all the gang over at the Eastern Cyclocross Association. Well, it's now gone over to Hamburg. Jens has got a great course out there, looks really amazing, and I know lots of people who are competing actually come on the Chaingang. So if you are going to be over there and you're watching this back, maybe to keep yourself amused at night, have a good race, enjoy it. Remember, it's only a World Championship. It's only the most important race on the calendar of the year. Don't let the pressure get to you, and have fun somewhere along the lines. Right. Don't forget, of course, Neil from Gritty is the co-host on the Crosscast. Gritty are supporters looking after the members of the DCG gang. The DCG gang is how we keep the whole show on the road. Really important that we look after those members. So the members get their very own Donny Chaingang on a Tuesday just for members of the DCG gang. The supporters club Chaingang, that's on a Tuesday. They also get exclusive discounts. For example, Gritty with a 20% discount for all of our members all the way through the year. Also getting great discounts as giveaways. So the giveaways at the moment, we've just done the Gritty giveaway for November in last week's show live. And 2 lucky winners. Picking those up, Andrew McCarthy winning £150 worth of Gritty kit, and Keith Richardson winning £100 of Gritty kit, as well as £250 worth of kit going out to the riders. We've had lots of different winners. We have quite literally given away tens of thousands of pounds of equipment over the last few years. So please do remember, make sure that you support the people who support your sport, make the show go on the road. You do that by supporting the firms across the bottom. At the moment, Gritty with a fantastic 20% discount for members, so it might be worth doing the donation and then getting yourself a new kit, particularly in the run up till Christmas, because of course now's the time to do that. So you haven't got long. We've got to the end of today. If you are a member, to use the 20% for November. There will be one in December, so make sure you grab those. Some new gloves come out from Gritty and new jerseys as well. Now, it is the end of November, so that means if you are a member, I'm going to repeat this message from the beginning of the show. If you are a member of the DCG Gang monthly, you're donating monthly rather than donating for the whole season, then please make sure that you renew before we get into the weekend. Quite simply because at the weekend there will be a new members email being written, if I can ever get back into my emails, hoping it's going to happen. If that happens, we are going to need you to make sure that you are a member and you sign up nice and early. Because if you sign up nice and early, it means that the automated system will catch you with the email rather than us having to dive in. At the moment, I'm doing a lot of time sleeping, recovering, and only broadcasting. I am quite literally doing pretty much nothing else. And that includes a lot of the admin is being kept to a minimum. So you would help me immensely, particularly in terms of sending out those emails into next week, which is going to be busy. I'll be brutally honest. It's going to be busy because I've got hospital appointments for x-rays on my neck. I've got to pack the entire French studios up and travel back to the UK. We've got a show on... we've got 4 major shows on Sunday before that. We got the WOW and the Donny Chaingang on the Wednesday, Thursday, and then we're in to the following weekend. So it's pretty chocker at the moment, and it would really help if you could help me be most efficient with my time. My time scheduling is a little bit tight at the moment, given the amount of time I'm asleep. So please, guys, renew. If you're going to renew your membership, please do it as soon as possible. It keeps the show on the road. Massive thank you. If you can't afford to do it, don't do it. It's really that simple. We don't want anybody putting themselves in financial trouble just to keep the show on the road. You can see bottom left-hand corner of the screen where the address is. It's really simple. It's the same place you need to go on. Thank you, Simon, for renewing today. It is www.buytickets.at. It's really simple. www.buytickets.at/fullspeed-events. Really is key that you get yourselves in and put that up. It does make a massive difference to us. So please do register on there. It is really key. We do want you to make sure that that is happening, because if you don't do that, then we end up with a little bit of a problem. So please, guys, make sure that you register, jump on board, make sure you get that done. It is absolutely critical. Buytickets.at/fullspeed-events. And that's whether you're joining the gang or whether you are going to be registering for the events. So the Thursdays remain free for everybody to ride. All you need to do is register. At the moment, we have two big groups on the road on the descent. You can see that on the sat-nav view. We're riding up near the front of group number 2. We do have a number of people who are fighting to stay on the wheels. It is always particularly difficult for the riders at the back of the group to stay on board. Pip Mon had a great ride on the Donny Chaingang yesterday. And one of our lighter riders just fighting to stay on the wheels at the moment. Looks like Summit also in there. And they are probably the back of the riders that are going to get in to the group. Kirkham currently at 38. I don't think seconds. I don't think it's going to get on. Mr. James, I don't think so. You guys, you've got 4 minutes. If that, 3.5 minutes, if you're going to do a rejoin, if you are with Pip Mon, that's only 13 seconds or so, 6 seconds to rust down in groups. So, Pip and Sumner, I'm just going to have a check. I don't like using people's surnames if I can avoid it. I do like to know everybody's first name, it just makes me feel a lot better. If you are riders there, that is going to be the guys at the back, Adam and Sumner. So, Adam and Pip. Guys, get yourselves on here. So Pip's not great, it's not working. Guys, you're going to need to get yourselves back on board. Pip is absolutely flying. Let's get these guys back on board. They're only about 11, 12 seconds off the back. So I think they're going to get on at the pace that they are going. Just to need to squeeze as they come in to the climb. And remember, of course, if you are a light rider, you do have an advantage on the uphill sections to try and squeeze. Meanwhile, the group are just coming round the turn. They're going to do this left turn. They're going to see the rump in front, and this is where you can see these riders are going to hit the slopes. The gradient really pushes. So, guys, if you are coming in, you have limited time. You need to be really, really quick to get back on board. You can see it's almost like those iconic pictures of the cross races when they all hit the steps. We've got, of course, coming up the Gravesend, the Cyclo Park, Cyclo Cross, where the Right for Charlie steps are. And it's pretty much a similar view, just with everybody off and running, rather than riding up. And of course, I know lots of our riders going to be hitting their map shot. It's a naughty ramp. It is absolutely blisteringly nasty. It's not the easiest by any stretch of the imagination. So Sumner just at the back there. So let's have a look. The Ben Russ is just tucked at the back. Mr. Barr, Mr. Whitehead, Richardson in here. Sumner and Mon. I think Pip Mon's going to dive out, dive in. Pip, you've got 1 minute 30. 1 minute 30 seconds, no pressure. As the riders make their way through, we're going to dive back out and we're going to come back in again. Quite simply because it's our sneaky way when people are jumping back in. So I think we're going to see Pip jumping in to the front. Let's see. So let's just trying to give the guys at the back a bit of a hand here. Someone just pushing to get on. It looks like Richardson, Barr and the Bear himself are going to be the riders are in there. So Adam, keep on pushing, buddy. You've got help. Keith Richardson. Keith, this is the last of the riders. I think we're going to get back on. Mr. Kirkham, Mr. James are over a minute back. They haven't jumped out, jumped back in again. Okay. So people are working out that it is 3 times up Box Hill. Yes, it is. So here we go. Adam Sumner jumping on the wheels of Keith Richardson. Wayne Barr is also at the back here. They could do with a few more breadcrumbs, I suspect, out the back of the bunch if possible. Mr. Langley just dropping back a little bit here, I think, to give a little bit more of the assistance here. In the moment, it's a 3-up team time trial coming from Wayne Barr, Adam Sumner and Keith Richardson, who are currently working their way through towards the front group. They've got about 16 seconds to make up. So I think they're going to need a little bit more assistance back there. If that's not going to stretch out on the front, I think we're going to see who's going to be coming back. Mr. Booker, I suspect, is going to be one of those. Just going to take a little bit of a look. The riders in that group are just having to work hard. There's 3 off the back now. So here we go. We'll drop in with Wayne Barr, a man who's already ridden the World Championships this year. Up in the Gravel Championships. We've got Mr. Mason just dropping back. Looks like Mr. McCarthy's coming back. Simon Oxenham. Oh, I love this. This is what we absolutely love about this. At the back of the main bunch, if you've not seen this before, take a look at this. We've got people on the way back. They look like they're taking it easy. They are, because what they're doing is they are waiting for the riders in there. The more riders that go back, the back of the tail is now coming off. This is to get back on. Now, the key here is getting ready to sprint back on again and keep an eye on the last rider that's incoming. Last rider is Simon Oxenham. Simon, you need to kick, buddy. So Simon Oxenham is our last rider on the road that's going to get back in, because behind Simon, the gap is too big. So Simon has got the back. The rest of the group have come back. You can see that this is starting to reform. We're going to pick up Gareth Licence, I think, who's just now going to be the rear of the tail. Gareth picking up the watts per kilo. He's kicking on here. He's going to make his way in. This is really, really key. Get yourselves back on board. Starting to squeeze. And look at that. This group now are taking the tail up. Mick Hawkins up in with it. Bond is on his way through. So Bond now the back of the bunch. You can just see he's kicking up to 4.5 watts per kilo. If you're a strong rider, it's the way to get a little bit extra workout in early. So this is what we're looking for. The riders making their way in. So Bond and Williams currently the back of that group. They just have to reform. It does take a little while for it to all merge back as one. On the Chaingang, so if you're watching, wondering what's everybody doing? It's meant to be a race. It's not. It's a ramp workout. It's really simple. It is a ramped workout. It is there basically as a ramp workout up till the point when the ride leader in yellow calls 3 G's, 3 O's. Not necessarily in that order. It's a G and an O and a G and an O. Really key, guys. If you hear that, be aware that there are no rules at that point. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. You can crawl to the finish. You can sprint to the finish. You can go early. You can go hard, but be aware that generally what we always say is that if you're going to get in there, you're going to be coming through. Now, Bond at the back coming in at 5 watts per kilo. He's going to try and sweep up Rob Williams, winner of Chaingang. Tom Elliott, also another rider who we know is going to be in the mix. Mick Hawkins, Keith Richardson, Paul Simonite, Phil Holwell. It is a real who's who at the back there. Bond is going to be the one incoming. I wonder if he's requesting a flyby. Mr. Woodbridge, where is the finish line? The finishing line is at the top of Box Hill. Not next time, but the time after. You've done one, you've got 2 more ascents of Box Hill to go. Here we go. Bond making his way on. He's going to make his way through. Williams is going to be our last rider. He's going to be looking for an encore. The rider who's going to be coming in and through. Running for the Beeston Cycling Club, one of the bright young riders tutored by the gang at Beeston and doing an amazing job over there. And the rest of it not too far away. I'm pretty sure Rob Scott's snow right now. It wouldn't surprise me. The Peak District looking like it's going to get a right old dumping this evening. So indeed, Box Hill Top Cafe, the mountain top line is the finishing line. Mr. Williams, squeeze, get back on again. Everybody else work out that they're all pretty much back together. So our riders are on the way through. So yeah, after you wave at G, Gareth is chosen because of his intimate knowledge of the climb. So we've done one actual lap, but we of course have to do 2 full laps plus the climb. Now remember, that run to the climb, it is a hilltop finish. Really, really key to get yourself into a position to get there. Now, if you can stay in the bunch all the way to that point, it is critical. It is tough stuff on the Chaingang. It is the Donny Chaingang. And it's certainly quick to know that group working well at the moment. Great to see that we've got Russ back on board. Just watching one of the other services. It's Royal Navy Royal Marine Cycling Association rider, John Garfer. Just nice and tucked in there. Just doing another of our regulars, Mr. Williams in there. Ryan Dubai saying the heating has just come on so he's had to go off to go turn it off. I'm sure Rowan is going to be generating plenty of heat. Good to have you back on the gang, Dr. D. No, heating in November. Yeah, not a Yorkshireman, clearly. I can't say anything, though. Must admit we've had the log fires rolling to try and keep everything in there. Try and keep the studio slightly warmer. I am actually quite literally wearing 4 layers on top, including a big jacket. I'm loving Chris Paul. You've gone soft down in South Road. Yeah, Ryan doesn't need the heating right now. He can do it. He comes on tomorrow from Macklin, our official lap scorer. So round to Trafalgar Square, round T Square, our riders go down on to Whitehall. Good to see Mark Kessing in here. Haven't seen Mark for a while. One of our younger riders. Was regular on Chaingang. It's good to have you back, mate. Nice to see him on board. Quite a lot of younger riders represented tonight. Got Mr. Ratcliffe in here, another of our youngsters. I'm seeing Samuel Taylor on board. I'm sure I've seen Finley Hudson. We've got Tom Lindy as well, one of our younger riders, one of the riders who's really made his name on the Chaingang. Tom, one of our regulars, going for the disc wheel on there. Yeah, eyes right as they make their way down across the Cenotaph. Eyes right, let's go past the big top. Clown House Central on the left, on the way down. Interestingly, for the on the 11th, came down here. It was. We were down in France for Armistice Day, which is what's celebrated in France rather than Remembrance Day. It was Armistice Day on the 11th. And really interestingly, the slightly different customs down here, the whole of the village turned out, ourselves included, and all my family, to march from the town hall to the War Memorial, and went up en masse. Rather than waiting at the War Memorial, and then once we all came through to the War Memorial, paying our respects, really because of the efforts of the resistance in the area, hotbed of resistance during World War II, and then the ceremony, which includes the youngsters of the village, on the 11th, and it's at 11:30. Not at 11 o'clock actually on Armistice Day in France, 11:30 in France, slightly different protocols, but it's very, very interesting to see how it was done. And second of the remembrance services we've attended here, the Victory in Europe Day, also celebrated, and of course paid our respects to the Resistance Monument. It really is a key service for the guys in the area. As I said, hotbed of resistance, great when you're riding out and around. And the support of the community, very handy when you come stacking it on the bike as well. Now, big thank you to everybody who's with us, particularly those from the armed services. Great to have you in here. The guys on the way down here, taking the right-hand turn, making the way underneath the tunnels. Pretty much everybody together. We've got Joe Blackburn on board, the rider now running for the Aeonian squad. We're going to go just directly above that Aeonian kit there. Resplendent on the back of Joe Blackburn. Joe was racing in the team time trial on Tuesday. Great to see that Joe really settling into that team. And Joe potentially going to be our fastest rider on the way through in terms of female riders on the Chaingang today. I know that we didn't get Tracy Seeley on the Wednesday ride. I know we're having incidents and tech issues, which is never good to see. As it goes through tonight on the gang, in terms of our female riders, it is Joe who's got the fastest time up Box Hill. Joe Blackburn, Pip Morn, and Fiona Booker. Fee Booker, one of the riders who we know absolutely class on wheels. We'll see how Fee's going to get on to the top of the climb. Very different from the mountain biking that we know that she is so good at. I think she's actually got the lap jersey at the moment in the women's competition. All the times all very similar, which is always key. If you want to get fastest time, what we're going to say is drop off the back and then get yourselves back up in round yellow as you go over the summit. That is key. So on to the second ascent of the climb of Box Hill. We're going to be making that side turn. Really, really interesting to see how they're going on the way up here. Now, Tom Linley's not the fastest here. May be Isaac as they go on the way up this climb to the top. We're coming up to that key right-hand turn as we make our way up here, and that's when it really does start to ascend. And it's going to be very interesting to see how these riders continue to push up there and stay in the group. Russ setting that pace, riders staying in and around Russ at the moment. Russ down across our yellow beacon. Tucked nicely in the group in that Downing cycling kit. Don't forget, of course, make sure you give Fonzie himself a follow on social media for all that Russ is up to, from Bike Flex right the way through to the Pro Espresso coffee machines, from Pinarello Ambassador Rides, you name it, he's on there. And of course, Downing cycling coaching as well. Don't forget that you can follow me. It's at Matt Fixer Payne. Emma, who leads the Wow Chaingang, is at Biking Emma, and at Full Speed Events, of course. For what we're up to, we are on the mic pretty much non-stop. It is what we do for a living. Do lots of talking. And supporting the sport is key to that. So the Wow Chaingang, as well as the gang. So really important to make sure that we look after the sport. We've something I've practiced since day one, and continuing to keep that rolling, from organising the roundy grass track for 11 years through to organising road races, mountain bike races, cyclocross races, working on races and looking after grassroots. We were looking after the Notts Clarion Cyclocross race, part of the Notts and Derby League. I'm, of course, chair of the Notts and Derby Cyclocross League for 3 years, as well as doing loads of kids coaching as well. And the more that we can put back in, the more bones we get on saddle is for everybody. Now, riders on the climb at the moment. Looks like the gang coming up at a reasonable pace. Just a few people at the back now. Looks like Keith Hayward just feeling the pressure. Mr. Holwell chasing on now. We know Holwell currently sitting at 5.7 watts per kilo. Phil Holwell likely to get himself back on rather quickly. Keith Hayward at the moment at 2.7, just being distanced off the back. May well be the first of the riders drop. However, remember, we only have one lap to go in totality as we hit the top of the climb. It'll be very interesting to see who is left on board. If you're at the back, guys, get yourselves together, find a group and jump on board. I think Mr. Williams is going to be making his way on. Mr. Summit at the moment just coming up to the top. Remember, the key point of this climb is going over the top and into the descent. As Dexter Mull is tucked in here. Carl Johnson, looks like Paul Simonite, Mr. Radcliffe in here. Muncaster squeezing hard to stay with the group. You do not want to get distanced on here. The pace is just starting to build at the moment as we make our way up here. Lewis Muncaster just with Robin Bartlett just alongside. This is the back of the main pack. Holwell just makes contact. Paul Simonite of Sitwell just off the back of this group, but coming up at I've just seen a 6 watts per kilo coming out from Simonite. He's definitely one of the riders who could get back in here. Radcliffe, one of our youngsters, does have the advantage of a better power to weight, I'm sure, than most. He's with Williams at the moment, and we know that Williams, again, another of those riders likely to figure in this. It is definitely one for the climbers with that mountain top finish, or the hilltop finish of Box Hill. The leading group, well, it's still pretty much together. Nobody wants to poke the bear at this stage and get the riders up and away. So looks like the group pretty much all together. Good to see everybody in there. Just going to jump in with Russ. He's sat in the middle of this pack. Russ, of course, is a consummate rider, going up the climbs as well as on the descents and in the sprints. Don't let him fool anybody when he says he can't climb. What pace is this? Tempo from Tom Elliott, tempo from Russ, max pace for Mr. Mason, A grade for John Goffer. It all depends upon the individual, and that's one of the great things about the chain gang, that everybody rides, everybody improves. The longer you can stay in with that group, the better you will improve, and that's what everybody tries to do. Not everybody stays in every week to the 3 Gs and the 3 Os, and if you can't, don't worry about it, don't panic, don't think it's something you've done wrong. We do always say that if you are at the very front at the end of a chain gang, you either are a pro, have been a pro, or should have been a pro. It's quite simple. Mr. Mason, no sign of those 100 watts yet for those who haven't been keeping up to date with the message board over the last few weeks. Mr. Mason has misplaced them. He's left them on the slopes, I think, of Box Hill. 100 watts have been deposited somewhere. He's not quite sure where. If you do find them, please return to the owner. You'll find them along with a whole pile of power somewhere out on the slope, so do send them back to Gareth, care of the cafe at the top of Box Hill. They'll get to him, don't worry. Okay, now taking a look down, John Woodbridge in here from Velabance squad, cheering on riders at the Central League Cyclocross League, the Central Cyclocross League continuing always, like lots of the leagues over the next few weekends. And great to see the team from Velabance really busy, bringing their own brand of unicorn magic to support the riders. Now, next on to the climb, this group just stretching a little bit. It's not long until we come in to the top of the slope that brings us to the arch. Remembering, of course, that the arch is not the top of the climb. The very top of the climb itself is actually a little bit beyond that. And what happens is you've got a slight drop on the top right hand side of your screen. You can see that there is a satellite navigation map, which currently shows 5% on the climb, and that shows where we are. Now the riders are climbing from right to left. You can see the position of the rider we're featuring just coming up to the levelling off, which is signified by the right hand turn. It levels and then it's actually a slight depression. And then just as you go over to the left of the profile, you'll see that there is a little bit of a rise. It doesn't look much, but it's steep. It's going to hurt. And if you're not on, because it's quite a knife edge at the summit, you will find yourself in trouble, and you are likely to be distant, particularly if you are a lighter rider. So, tip from one who has A, raced on this, B, ridden up it, C, suffered up it, and D, watched this more times than I care to remember. Stay tight to yellow all the way over the top of the climb, not just through the archway. Now, whether reminiscent of the conditions across most of the UK one way or another over the last few weeks, it is absolutely pelting it down on the top of Box Hill. Our riders are just making the way through the turns, so there's no diving into the cafe to hide from the rain for them at the moment, though, because this is all about making sure that they are in position. So if you're at the back of this group, now is the time to squeeze. If you are not in the group now, you will not be in the group when we go over the top, and by the time we hit the bottom, it's absolutely critical. Anybody at the back of this pack, if you're in camera shot now, you're in the danger zone. You are in danger of finding yourself out the back of the group when it goes through, so you need to squeeze right up and do not let that go for anything. Mr. Williams, you perhaps want to go like an absolute loon off the back if you want to get back on again, chase on to the climb. You've got them in sight, buddy. Go through the archway. So it's 1 lap to go, 1 full lap to go from our unofficial lap scorer, Matt Nunn. 1 lap to go. We're at the top of the climb. We're going to drop down. We're going to go back to the other side now. Sumner, Bartlett, Mr. Garford, to Mr. Hayward, Mr. James. If you have anyone around you, grab a wheel, jump on board. This is going to be key now. I think our helicopter shot is going to be about as much use as a chocolate teapot. We're going to go in with the amazing cable cannon that goes round corners and up above the group at the moment. They're on their way to that kicker. This is the slight descent, minus 2% now, minus 1%. You're going to go up on to the climb. I would not drop an anvil right now. Don't do it. Hold on to it. Here we go, 10% rise at the moment for the riders. You're going to see just how tough this is. It's starting to ease to 9%. It's really, really key here to be in with the group. Once we go over the top, you are going to find these riders are going to stretch out. And here we go, over the top, gradient disappears very quickly. We're down to 5%, down to 3%, down to 0. We're now into minus numbers, and the pace is going to pick up. Anybody at the back of this group, you're going to be in trouble. I absolutely guarantee this, because you are not going to be able to stay with the group. So anybody at the back needs to push. Now, Mr. Moore, Sean, come on, buddy. Time to squeeze here. You've got to really, really push on. Martin in this group, Simonite, Patterson in here, Gale's in here, Russ is in here, the back of this group. This is where you're going to be in trouble. Looks like Bailey of Sheffrek could be in trouble here. So could Bolton. Sadler's going to be in trouble. You've got to go down here like crazy, guys, because otherwise you are going to be in big trouble. Jackson, look at this. There are lots of people in here. Don't drop the yellow beacon, that is for sure. Now is not the time to leave the beacon behind. Just in with Neil Jackson. Neil, squeeze, buddy. This is where you really got to push. Do not want to lose those wheels. Same for Chris Sadler. Same for Andrew Bailey from Sheffrek. It's going to be the same for anybody at the back of this group. You've really got to squeeze. I'm not sure that Williams and Cornish are going to get on. That's Arlen Williams and Alan Cornish who are chasing. I think that gap is just too big at the moment. There's some serious descending going on. Russ at the moment is at the back of this group. It is pretty much one pack. When we take a little bit of a look, those chasers I don't think are going to get on. It's so critical to stay in the group. Russ is sitting at the back of this group, and it has split on the descent. There's a number of people. So Sadler's the nearest group at 10 seconds. I'm not sure they're going to get on there. Radcliffe's in here, Bailey's in here, Bolton's in here, Jackson's just off the back. This could be the chasing group, group 2. Looks like Blackburn is just about in here. This is really key. Get on board, get in that group. The gang are coming, they're on the descent. There's going to be a left-hand turn. Russ shouting at the commands to listen up. This is what Russ was training for with Swifty. Absolutely love it, yeah. For getting in the wet stuff. Will the tunnels be underground? Will Russ be up to his knees in water trying to get the bike through the ford? I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. It's looking pretty dry. There's still some spray coming off the bikes as they come in through here. Fiona is definitely in here. I've seen Blackburn in here as well. Looks like a license has made this booker. We've got Elliott in here, Whitehead, Langmead in, Pearson in, Williams is in as well. This is about squeezing now. Get in with that yellow beak. We've got a right and a left-hand turn to come up in on to the escalators. It's really important that you're in it to win it now. This is going to be key. Make sure that you know exactly where you are. Here we go, and the go has gone on the escalators. The bear was riled. Oh my goodness. The go goes over the top of the escalator. There's red all over the board as people are diving in. What a mean place to go. Whoever supplies Russ's internet, you poked the bear well and truly. And I tell you something, it's not Honey tonight, it's the claws that are out, because he has gone on the escalators coming back towards the start line. And there are bodies in a long trail from Tower Bridge down to the underground now. And this is where you've really got to push to get in. We're just looking for the back of the riders in here. Road Dubash, I think, just about making the junction. Pattison, Gale the same. Malin just holding in here. Phil Oliver might just make this up. Woodbridge could squeeze in here with Langmead. Guys, squeeze now. Time to push. You can't let this go. Come on, Steve. Time to dig in deep, buddy. Keep that power down. You're going to get that group back. Mike Killingworth off the back of that group. And I think Isaac Oliver is the wrong side of the split. Breaking news, Isaac Oliver of the Young crew does not make the front split. Going up the escalators, he will be in the finish, in the kill at the moment. Isaac Oliver out of the sprint and out of the leading group for a change. Isaac, enjoy the ride. Okay, back with the, well, kind of trying to find the front group. We are working our way up. You can see those splits just continue to be hammered home. That came in. If we take a little bit of a look at the satellite navigation view, this is all over the place. You can see these riders in the group. Where Russ is, well, they're in the right place because this is the leading group. Isaac is off the group, has gone off the back. That is not like Isaac Oliver. We know he's more than capable of taking the win on the Chaingang time and time again, but not in this group. Now, there is a chasing group almost on the wheels. This is the chasing group. So, we've got Mick Hawkins, we've got Matt Nunn in here, we've got James Foss, we've got Chris Ball, Tom Hagger, we've got Martin in here, Sean Moore, I think he's off the back. He's got riders actually just behind him, Whitehead, Fulton, Hind is in here, John Hind, Dr. D, Fiona Booker, Mr. Green in here. Then it's Woolbridge. Riders, I mean, it's a long train of riders now. That leading group with Russ at the moment, right up at the front, flying around. Lots of personal best times to lap. We've got an attack on the front, going off the front though. At the moment, we're going to try and get there. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, to try and work our way up to the very front of this group, but it looks to me like we may well have Zach Hutchinson on the offensive on the flatter section. So the youngster has gone for this, not on the territory that's necessarily going to suit him. Now, for those of you that don't know Zach Hutchinson and the Hutchinsons, they are absolutely blindingly great riders. It's always good to see him in action. Coming from the York neck of the woods, Clifton CC, a rider at one time. I'm not sure if he's still with Clifton CC, must update the stats, but he is a rider that you're going to have to watch on the climbs. He's got a fantastic power to weight and a great kick on him. Definitely one to watch for the future. Williams is closing down here with the assistance of Higginbottom, of Booker, of Oxenham, of Muncaster, of Holwell. These riders are working well. Varty's in here. This group is chasing Hutchinson at the moment. He's going to see them coming up behind him. He's putting the power down and he's making them work. I don't think he wants this group to come back together again. And if this is a move, because Isaac Oliver was distanced, this is a great way to keep Isaac off the group. By pushing on now, this is causing the group to chase. And this could well be the case that he's trying to just release the group, make sure that we don't see some of those climbers coming back in who are maybe caught out by the go going on the escalators. Lindley is in here. Definitely a rider who's got some great power to weight. The man who's written more books about 100 climbs. In fact, if he ever does the maths of multiplying the books by the climbs, I think Simon Warren will let us know. A man whose first foray on to Zwift was actually climbing the Alpe d'Huez, comparing it with the real thing. It's been done, it's been repeated recently by a few people, but the original one was done by Simon Warren on our setup over in Dronfield at the time, and he was out and riding. He rode it and compared the two on our rig, and that article going into Cycling Weekly. That's a long time ago. But at the moment, a man who's on form and disappearing off the front faster than Marco Pantani can climb could climb the Alpe d'Huez. It is Zach Hutchinson now. Samuel Taylor is in pursuit. He's bridging across the gap. He's the man who is part way there. He's not waiting for the rest. And it could well be that if these two youngsters continue to push, that Zach Hutchinson and Sam Taylor are going to be the riders who are going to come on together. But that is a big group behind, and it looks like it's the Bear who's having to do the work here. So Downing at the moment has gone on the front. Is he going to bridge across to Taylor and Hutchinson and support the two youngsters? He's gone hard. If he goes across this gap and catches up with Taylor and Hutchinson, that would be a fearsome threesome on to the climb, and that's going to make everybody else work incredibly hard. The group is at 2 seconds behind him. Gareth Lysons leading the chase. Oxenham is in here. We've got a few of the riders who we think are likely to be in here. Finley Hudson. Do not discount Finley Hudson. Absolutely fine. We know the Hudsons have class on the climb, but here we go. We're on to the run up onto Northumberland Avenue. We're going to go up to Trafalgar Square, and Cooley's got that timing right. He absolutely kicked across. He's brought back Russ. Higginbottom's just gone over the top in pursuit of this man. This is absolutely mean. The cruelest go ever, says Matt Nunn. I could quite agree with you there. I don't remember it ever going on the escalators before. So Solo leader onto Whitehall, chases behind on the way, 7 seconds the gap. I think there's a few people struggling with the pace as they come round that turn. The back of this group could well be that we're seeing a few riders going to be distanced. Williams is still in here. Bart is near the back of the group. Looks like Downing is in there. Just taking a look, Campbell has been distanced here. So he's the runner who's been distanced. Dench has gone off that group as well. Richardson too. So at the moment, Cooley with Downing, they're just off the back of the main chasing group by about 5 seconds or so. It is going to need a kick to get themselves right back up. At the moment, Bond, that's Josh Bond, the rider that we are in with at the moment. He's currently in that chasing pack, still trying to close down Zach Hutchinson. Now Hutchinson putting that kick in where he did, has opened a gap. He's got a nice little lead here, and he's going to be looking to take this in and through. He's gone past Clownhouse Central, he's gone past the Abbey of Westminster, past the Westminster Palace, and making his way in towards the bridge. Past Westminster Bridge, he's going to take a left on Vauxhall Bridge, and then head across over towards the tunnel. He's got to keep this pressure on. Now, the time for pure Watts is now. The time for climbing Watts is on the ascent. If this group doesn't get its act together soon, and I mean real soon, the chances of pulling back Hutchinson are going to be in trouble. It is really critical. They need to pull now, because Hutchinson is going to hit that climb, and when he hits that climb, that is when the power to weight ratio that Hutchinson has will come to the fore. At the moment, this is the terrain that suits Hutchinson the least. But at the moment, Zach Hutchinson has got the gap. He's got a gap of 18 seconds now. It's continuing to pull out because this lot behind, they can't get their act together. They've got to put concerted chase. It's no good having individual efforts. It's not going to pull him back because the rest periods outweigh and the pauses outweigh the pushes. And that means that it's going to be very difficult to pull him back. So we have breakaway. Zach Hutchinson going for the combativity prize. He's down the escalators. He's about to hit the tunnels away from the platforms now. Behind, this is the chasing group. Looks like Ryan Williams is on a way to break to get across here. Put in the anvil at the right time on the descent. You see the speed he came down there. He's got the gap. He's now got to get across to Hutchinson. He's got 4 seconds on the group behind. Is this going to provoke a proper response from the riders behind? Hutchinson is continuing to push. He's about to come out from the tunnels. No sign in our cameras of the two riders able to see each other. License and code. Well, they can see Williams. They are the nearest chasers, but this is going to come down to who can climb the climb of Box Hill the fastest. It is the Donny Chaingang. At the moment, these riders steadily making the way in to the base of the climb. So Rustabear is in here. He is left in the position where he has two riders out in front of him. You've got Ryan Williams. Have I called him Rob all night? I probably have. Sorry, mate, it's the bang on the head. It's a great excuse for all sorts of things. So, Ryan Williams just in second place. Then it's Zach Hutchinson leading this out. Zach has 11 seconds on Williams behind him. You can see the yellow beacon behind, but we are now into climber territory. This is about who can go up the climb of Box Hill. The fastest time so far is that 9 minutes kind of marker. We have got Blackburn in there in the women. In the men's, it is Ryan Williams who's got the fastest time. They're both basically sitting at a few seconds over 9 minutes. But remember, that was done as part of the controlled ramp and not after the 3 Gs, which were let loose on the kick in. Now, let's see who wants this the most. Hutchinson is going well, absolutely flying. He is one of our younger riders. Look at his age, think about how tiny this kid is, and then think about how fast he's going to climb. You had your chance to pull him back on the flat, you didn't use it. Now, Kettingham, another of our youngsters, another regular on the Chaingang. He's sitting in second place. Then it's another, well, I think we can still call Ryan a youngster. He's not as young as the other two, but he still definitely classes as a youngster compared to the average age of the Chaingang. Then Holwell, look at Holwell go here. He's at nearly 8 watts per kilo, trying to push across to this leading group, not letting them go. Then it's Lindley, followed by Bond in currently 8th place. Then it's going to be Booker. It's going to be Muncaster. It's going to be Hudson, Higginbottom, Taylor, Downing, Oxenham, Barr, Cooley. They're all in line astern behind. Elliott not right up at the front. Simon Warren goes on to his favourite territory, going uphill at the moment. But can he get there? Dale Williams distance, license distance, Varty's gone. Pearson's gone. Blackburn is going to be the nearest of the female runners. Fastest female runner is going to be Joe Blackburn for the Aeonian squad. Currently chucking the feather in to try and get as close as she can, but we're coming up towards the hairpins already, and these indicate pretty much the halfway stage on the way up and through. So the encouragement coming from Dale Williams saying, go on. And at the moment, he doesn't need any encouragement. He's 7 seconds, the gap. And at the moment, it's not Williams who's the nearest chaser. It is Holwell in here. So Holwell is the nearest chaser to Hutchinson. Then it's going to be Kettering who's on to and passing the runners behind. Now, for those of you that don't know Phil Holwell, Phil is absolutely class rider. Rice Peak RC, regular cross rider and mountain biker. He's a proper skinny whippet, absolutely class on wheels, regularly hovering around those national and international podiums. He's a rider who's ridden strongly on the 3 peaks. He doesn't weigh very much. In fact, Phil probably won't take this the wrong way when I say that he probably weighs as much as my legs and not the rest of my body put together. It honestly is one of our light riders, and it's no surprise to see him going well on the climb. So at the moment, we've got Hutchinson in 1. We've got Holwell in 2, running away from that right-hand hairpin. You've got Williams just coming round that bend in 3. You've got Kettering currently in 4. You've got Bond in 5, leading the pack of Lindley, Booker, of Muncaster, of Higginbottom. You've got Taylor now distance from that group with Cooley. The gaps are starting to open. Then it's Elliott, Barr, and Oxenham, Downing down there, Warren down in this same area along with Williams. The lead though, well, that is right up at the front. They can see it. Can they get there? Lindley still in that chasing group at the moment. Muncaster though setting, I think, the pace with Higginbottom at the moment. Higginbottom at the front of this chase pack. You can see how big it is by this camera shot and by our cable cam, but Higginbottom setting a pace of 5.5 watts per kilo in pursuit of Kettering, who's currently sitting between 4.9 and 5.3. You've got Ryan Williams sitting at 5.3. Phil Holwell's at 5.9. Zach Hutchinson, because he doesn't weigh anything, and I did warn you to go after him on the flat. He's now on the climb and currently at 6.7 watts per kilo. His maximum power is not the same. You can see that. Phil Holwell here is having to do more watts to do less watts per kilo, and that is quite simply because he has to push more weight uphill. It is a simple equation. However, 8 seconds is the gap, and at the moment, Zach Hutchinson, an attack. Let me remind you, not on the final climb. He went early, he opened the gap, he held the gap into the descent of the escalators. He held the gap on the run into Box Hill. He held it all the way through from his initial attack. It's going to pay off today for Zach Hutchinson. He's going to come through to take the win on top of Box Hill. He's going to come in to the finish for the win. An absolutely flying time up here. It's going to smash that 9 minutes apart on the climb. Here he comes, Zach Hutchinson comes up to the line. It's going to be a winner on the Donny Chaingang. Zachary Hutchinson, he might only be 12, but watch this name for the future. He's a rider who's going to be taking it out. 5 minutes, 57 seconds. It's a second place for Phil Holwell. He's going to come in with the second fastest time. Again, he is going to be rolling in. He's got a slightly faster time. He is also sub 6 minutes on the climb. That is an absolutely blistering time. Phil Holwell, absolutely class on wheels, chasing the winner, Zach Hutchinson, down, unable to get the gap on him. So it's Hutchinson in 1, it's Holwell in 2. It's going to be Williams who's going to come through for 3rd place here today. Let's have a look at what time he's going to do. Holwell with the faster time on the climb. The initial attack by Zach Hutchinson doing the business. Next through goes Williams at 6:33 on the climb. Ketchum in the sprint here, and I think it's going to be Finley Hudson who's going to take it. It is. It's Hudson who just gets that as it goes through from Ketchum, Higginbottom, Bond going through with Booker, Muncaster going through as well. Next up is going to be Samuel Taylor, but he's got to watch his tail because he's got the boss behind him. Russ the Bear is going to kick for this. Is he going to be able to catch them on the run in? Here he comes. So Downing goes past Elliott in the final sprint. He goes past Cooley. Has Cooley got a response? He hasn't. Taylor's seen him coming. He's kicking on. Is he going to stay clear? Is Taylor, the youngster, going to hold off the Bear here? It's going to be close. Here they are. They're on the way into the line. The gantry's coming. Is it going to come quick enough? Russ is putting in a final kick here. Oh, that's a photo finish on the line between Taylor, between Downing, Cooley and Elliott go through. Next through will be Wayne Barr, followed by Oxford, still nice inside the top 20. 17th for Warren, our first female finisher, is going to be Joe Blackburn. Blackburn on the way up here. She's got Dench and Barker not far behind. Dench will sprint for this line, but it's Blackburn who takes it for the Ionian squad. Our fastest female rider is Joe Blackburn here today on the Donny Chaingang. Adi Dench back on his way to fitness. Adi, good to see you back on the bike. Inspiration for me, I have to say. Then it is going to be in Barker, followed by Gareth Licence. Licence will be our next rider through the line. It's going to be Dale Williams, who should hold on to take 22nd place. Now it's Rob Varty is on his way into the line behind. Varty with a massive sprint here. He's clear of Keith Richardson. So Richardson, the next rider on his way into the line. Keith, our winner on the second place, in fact, on the Gritty giveaway, getting £100 worth of spends at the Gritty store. Next, he can come by with us 20% discount for all of our members. Next going to be Pearson and Hutch going through, followed by Alexander, going to be the next rider through the line, being chased by Lane from Cams, who goes in over the line. 29th spot will be Steve Wilson. Now, one of our regulars and somebody inspired to ride and race back on the racing scene. I hope you enjoyed the crossing. Nice kit, by the way. I do like that kit on Zwift going through. Then it's going to be Osman, who comes through with Hawkins and Whitehead, followed by Simon Running. Good ride by Simon again today. 33rd in today. Then it's going to be Breen with Haggard, and then I think it's going to be Sean Moore. Moore's in a bit of a sprint here. So it's going to be Sean Moore. Wow, that is going to be tough stuff. So Martin Moore, Fionn Booker coming through. So great riding by Fiona Booker. There, Booker goes through. Just keeping the Watts down after that big sprint into the line. Going to be our second fastest female today. Just going back a little bit. And Forbes is going to be the next. So Mr. Forbes ahead of Chris Ball. Chris on his way, and I hope you've enjoyed the Chaingang. Get your mind busy and your legs burning today, Chris. And good to see you riding strongly here. Next through will be Neil Jackson. He's just ahead of Rowan Dubash. And Rowan on his way across the top here. Next up will be Dave Fulton. So Fulton going to come in underneath the gantry, followed by Woodbridge. And good to see James Woodbridge back in action. Well, over the top of Box Hill he goes. Next up will be the sprint. Now this is between our unofficial timekeeper Matt Nunn, Paul Mallin, who's going to roll him, I think, and go over the top. They're not going to catch Sadler. Sadler having a fantastic sprint on him. We know he's going to be pushing on here. So here we go. Phil Evans, you probably shouldn't have dropped Russell. And he said, no, you poked the bear. Although I don't think he was in a particularly good mood after the dropouts. Next up is going to be John Hine. John with the race from the Bolsover district, just ahead of Steve Hilbert. Steve with another good ride here today on Box Hill. Another member of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang. And thank you very much for your support, Steve. Really appreciate it, helping keep the show on the road. So Hilbert going to come in and through the line underneath that Continental tyres. Got to remember, of course, the sister tyre company to Continental in the UK. Goodyear Tyres looking after our riders today as Bolton from Sheffrick goes through the line with Rich Langmead just behind. Then it's going to be one of our youngsters. It's going to be Radcliffe, the next of our riders coming up to the line. So good to see Mikey Radcliffe coming in and through, followed by Chris Gale. So Gale goes over the line, chased by Gary Patterson. Patterson going to be the next rider in with John Gale in pursuit. So Chris Gale already through, Patterson goes through. And then it's going to be John Gale, another of our regular riders on the Chaingang. Good to see you on board here, buddy. On his way in towards the line. He's going to be just ahead of Andrew Bailey, I think. Then Dixon Moore, Bobby Mason, our next riders. It's just behind him now. He's got to watch out. Bailey's coming, but I don't think he's going to come quick enough. So it is going to be Gale next to the riders in through. Gale coming through for 6th place. For 7th will be going to be Andrew Bailey. Dixon Moore going to come through, I think, for 58th place. Just coming past the top of the Climb Past Cafe. So Dixon Moore, another of our regulars on the Chaingang, makes his way in through the line. Don't forget, if you want to ride on the Tuesday Chaingang, if you're loving the Thursday, if you want to ride on the Tuesday, it is there as a reward. Say thank you to the members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang. The Donny Chaingang is only made possible because we have the support of those riders. To reward them, they get their very own Chaingang on a Tuesday. You want to be there? You can join up. You can see all the details. It's really easy. www.buytickets.at/fullspeed-events. It's scrolling across in the blue box on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. It is free to register and join on a Thursday. It's members only who donate on a Tuesday. And to say thank you, they get their very own Chaingang. We also, of course, give them great discounts and give away from the companies that you see at the bottom of your screen, getting looked after by 1080 Goodyear Tyres, Halo, by Norns, by OT, and of course all the way through November, looking after the gang is Gritty. As Bobby Mason, one of our regulars, comes through the line, being chased here by Arlen Williams. A massive thank you to Gritty. They are there. Sustainable sports apparel with all of that sustainable kit, looking at the impact that all your kit has. They are there to keep it down to a minimum. Some great kits, some great clothing, some new jerseys, new gloves coming in. They practice what they preach. They don't only support the sport, but they also ride the gang week in, week out. No Neil tonight because he is out at the World's Masters Cyclocross, out racing. And there's been the launch, of course, during the month of November of the Gritty race team. So if you race off-road, if you think you've got what it takes, if you have a laugh out on your bike, if you like what the Gritty team do in terms of sustainable sports apparel and that fits with your ethos, get in touch with them. Get in touch with Neil or Caroline. You can find them on social media. You can find Gritty on social media. And don't forget, of course, to look up the Gritty website. It is www.gritty.co.uk. Now, Williams in through the top. Oliver, I think, is our next rider on the climb with Bartlett, Sumner, Garfoot and Co behind. And that means that I'm going to get a little bit of a chance just to jump across as Oliver and Bartlett make their way up here. So, just a quick update for you. Don't forget, guys, whilst we're just jumping off from them, you can join us. It's really simple. It's just across there. Buy tickets at Full Speed Events. Really, really important. Please, if you are a member, do renew. Don't forget, we can't do this without support. So do support the guys at Gritty. They are here for us. To say thank you, Tuesdays are members only. So you need to be a member to be part of the gang. It is quite simple. If you are a DCG gang member, a supporters club member, you get that Tuesday ride in as well. We also, of course, have the Thursday ride for everybody. Our next riders on the way into the line to come up the climb together. It is going to be Phil Oliver along with Robin Bartlett. This is the run into the line for the pair. They're just on the easing of the gradient here. It just drops. You can see top right hand side of your screen. As they come in to this left-hand turn, they're going to see the gantry coming up. So Robin Bartlett and Phil Oliver, 2 riders on the way through. Going to take this left-hand turn. They'll be in to the finish any second. It's going to be Bartlett who's leading out in the lamprey pink and blue. In the black is Phil Oliver. They're just alongside the cafe at the moment, but it looks to me like these 2 riders just staying clear of Sumner. Sumner's coming at a pace, so you know, I'll tell you something, you can roll them on the line here. This is what we love about the chain gang. Wherever you are on the chain gang, there's always somebody prepared to have a dig and have a go. So into the line they go. It's going to be, it is Sumner who takes it from Bartlett, from Oliver. Great riding, guys, well done. So they are now over the top. We're going to drop in with John Goffert. John, one of our regular riders, also now on that section where it just starts to ease, taking his way around to the left-hand turn here. So great riding, John. Congratulations. Good to see you on the gang. Once again, congratulations to everybody who has made it over the climbs all 3 times up Box Hill. It's not an easy course. In fact, it's a pretty tough course. One of our standards, but one of our real tough ones as you go in and through. So here we go, riders on the way to the finish, and our last rider in this tranche, I think it's going to be John Goffert. Rob James out on the climb. I'm going to go back and just jump in with him. So good to have John making his way into the line, taking his left-hand turn, and underneath the gantry he goes. John Goffert from Royal Navy Cycling Squad makes his way through the Royal Marine. In through, job done. And a regular helping out on the gang as well, so he is in and through. I think that means that Rob James, just down in the base, he's on his way through town, down Whitehall. So Rob, we are going to leave you to get on to the climb. Rob James with us week in, week out, improving week in, week out. Tough day on the chain gang today, but Rob doing an amazing job again. Today, for a change, we're not going to follow all the way to the finish, quite simply because I'm absolutely feeling like a bounce down the road on my head at 40 kilometres an hour. So Rob, keep on pedalling, buddy. Keep on squeezing. We will be watching. We won't necessarily be talking. We'll be watching you on the game run on the show, and that means it's time for me to wrap up and go put ice packs on shoulders, back, neck, and everything else. Pop the anti-inflammatories, and hopefully be back with you next week in a slightly better state without the 2 black eyes, etc. So a massive thank you to our riders for riding. A massive thank you to everybody who donates as part of the DCG gang. Big thank you to Russ jumping on board, getting through those state difficulties and being our leader once again. Don't forget, it's only possible because of the support of Halo Wheels, Gritty Sustainable Sports Apparel, OTE Sports Nutrition, Goodyear Tyres at Cambrian Tyres, Nonna's Restaurant, 1080 Oakley, and more. Make sure you support the people who support your sport. It is brought to you by Downing Cycling and Full Speed Events by Russ Downing and myself, Matt Payne. You can follow Russ and all of his action at Fonzie Downing. You can follow me at Matt Fixer Payne. But from me and from all of the gang, stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.